gentlemen, to another wonderful episode of the Wonders of Science with Mr. Whybrew. This is Season 3, Episode 3, and in this episode we're going to answer the question, how are stars classified? Anyone know? Anyone want to take a guess? Anyone? Alright, so let me go ahead and answer the question. So, how are stars classified? Now, you remember from a previous video going back in, I believe it was during Season 2, we talked about classification. And classification simply means to organize things together based on either characteristic or certain traits, something that is a commonality between them, and so they get organized together there. So, how are stars classified? Well, stars are classified by their temperature, in other words, how hot or cold they are, and when I say cold, that just means they're not as hot as some of the hotter stars. So they're classified by their temperature and their absolute magnitude. Now, the absolute magnitude is the measure of luminosity, or in other words, the measure of brightness. So it's classified by temperature and by absolute magnitude. Now, this is done using a diagram called the Hertz-Sprung Russell diagram, abbreviated usually by H-R. Now, the diagram is called the Hertz-Sprung-Russell diagram, as you might guess, as it is named after those who made significant contributions to it. And those people are Ejnar Hertzsprung and Henry Norris Russell, which this diagram was relatively created or put together or identified around 1910. So it's been around for quite a while and it's still used today. In fact, I should have an image either here or here. One of the sides will have an image of that so you can see what that looks like. And also I would recommend you look up more of these and just kind of get an idea and get familiar with it, because as you do study in your courses, you will need to be familiar with diagrams like this, because it would just kind of help you kind of place things where they belong, so to speak, where they're organized. Alright, now let's move on to our fun science fact of the day. This one should have you going over the moon. Okay, that was that was a horrible pun, but hey, tried. Okay, get this. The moon, referring to our moon, the moon's shape is not round. It's actually scalene ellipsoid. Now you might say, wow, what did you just say, Mr. Whybrew? Well, scalene ellipsoid refers to it being like a kind of an elliptical shape, but in particular, think lemon-shaped, okay? If you think about the fruit of a lemon, that's what it looks like. And you might go, wait a minute. If I've ever looked through a telescope or looked up in the sky, it doesn't look that way. Well, keep in mind, there's some things, the way we perceive them is some of our sight how it is, and so we don't get to see it in that way because of what we're seeing of it. It's kind of cool, though. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for another wonderful episode of the Wonders of Science with Mr. Whybrew. Keep an eye out for the question that will be at the end of the video. And as always, enjoy the wonders of science. Take care, good day, and goodbye.